What is up, YouTube? It is your boy Running Man, and I am flanked by the beautiful and talented
Jeez, Brittany.
She's a Brittany's.
Hi.
And we're back. Did you guys miss us? I don't know why I'm looking at you.
I know, I'm like, I'm not dumb.
Like she's gonna tell me, like, oh, I missed you a lot.
I don't know if they missed us.
Yeah, we're back. So appreciate your patience through the break. It's been pretty busy. It's been a busy summer. Summer is here. So yeah, really lots going on. Ozzy played his last show. Rest easy, the goat. He didn't die.
He's not dead.
He's just relaxing, chilling. Yeah.
I want to point out though, our shirts look like we literally got them like together.
Yeah, no.
No, like that's like the best. Doug is the best at shopping.
Yeah, so she got her shirt like literally at an Ozzy show.
Yeah,
and
like
then I was
10 years ago or something. Not even 10. It wasn't 10 years ago. That was a lie. It was like 5 years ago.
Literally just lied to
Literally just a lie.
Just lying to you for no reason. No, so
but then Doug found like the exact same shirt.
Yeah, I found like a shirt that matched, so we can wear dope matching shirts on stream. Not on stream, on the recording. So anyways, this episode is dedicated to the career of Ozzy Osbourne, who I saw in my first ever rock concert in Anchorage, Alaska in the year 2001.
Did you really?
Yeah, it's funny. I don't think I actually even told you that. But yeah, Ozzy has a special place in my heart.
What year was it?
I can't see. There's this month. Can you?
At the bottom?
No More Tears. Which is live, by the way, Ozzy. 2018.
2018.
2018. So 17 years later. I saw them.
Oh.
You saw them for the first.
I thought you were talking about like now was 17 years later. I'm like, good Lord.
It's close. 17 years, 28 7 days. I don't know. We can make a really loose connection.
Cut a lot of that.
Yeah. No, nothing's getting cut. Are you kidding me? This is good content. Right, so my first ever rock show was, because I grew up in Southeast Alaska, like a little fishing village, and we had nothing. We traveled down to the lower 48 a lot. I did go to one concert before that. It was at the Washington State Fair, which used to be the Puyallup Fair, and it was Jars of Clay, a Christian rock band, was what my parents would let me see.
I've heard that band.
I jammed out with them. My little sister's email for a long time was Jars of Clay 36. I'll never forget that.
That's so funny.
Yeah. Anyways.
When you saw Ozzy, was it Ozzy or was it Black Sabbath?
It was Ozzy Osbourne.
And he played Black Sabbath songs, I bet.
He played a bunch of Black Sabbath songs, yeah, but it was like Ozzy proper.
Yeah.
And then I remember, I think it was, what was the swap between them and Metallica? I think it was the bass player swapped around, and like Metallica got Ozzy's bass player, or vice versa. I think the Metallica guy that went to Ozzy's band was there when I saw the show. This is like, we're pinging my memory from 24 years ago with rock news, but anyways, I saw Ozzy Osbourne, and then like a month later I saw Tool, which was probably still one of the best shows I've ever seen on their Lateralis tour. So one thing that we both wholeheartedly agree on is that metal music, rock music, and horror go hand in hand. Mm-hmm. Like it's kind of like pro wrestling. I think that the fan bases of all three are kind of like counterculture, kind of based people. We have like, they're just better than everybody else, right? Do we agree?
Yes.
Right?
Adalia agrees.
Yeah, at least in the horror community is better than everybody else. I'm sure everybody here agrees. But I think metal and wrestling kind of go hand in hand with horror. So that's one of the reasons why we just wanted to dedicate this episode to the GOAT, Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah.
One thing I decided I wanted to do is I want to say how I think Ozzy would think of each of these three movies that we talk about today, and which one he would be his favorite.
Oh, really?
If you're cool with that.
Yeah, I love it.
Cool. I didn't tell her about this. I thought about it. I was brushing my teeth this morning.
Also, sorry. I'm sure there's a ton of feedback going on. She keeps bopping the mic.
It's great. I mean, this is a cat-friendly community here in the Slashily Ever After. Our slashers. So,
slashers.
Again, we're a little tardy, and we promise to be better about this. We really do. We know we've promised you this before, but we're really excited to keep making new content here. We're a little late on 28, but we think it's going to be worth the wait. And I'm a rapper now, and I rhyme everything. But yeah, we loved the 28 series. So, fun fact, Brittany and I both watched 28 Days Later, and neither of us had ever seen 28 Weeks Later. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of chill that we got to watch 28 Days Later to refresh. And then we got to both watch 28 Weeks Later
for the first time together.
Yeah, for the first time in July 2025, which is, I think, kind of dope. Mm-hmm. And then we went and saw 28 Years Later, obviously, at the theater, as we are prone to doing, seeing films in the theater. So we're going to go through kind of our thoughts on each of the movies, which one we like the best. And then we're going to talk a little bit about 28... what is the Bone Temple something? 28 Years Later, the Bone Temple? I believe... So I know you prepared so much for this one, and I had to ask you a question you didn't already look up. But the next installment of the 28 series is actually already coming up in January. It's called The Bone Temple. And so we'll get a little bit of pre-hype for that, talk about that. So,
without spoiling 28 years later.
Never.
Which is hard.
Never. It's hard, yeah. Because the thing that we're both...
28 years later, The Bone Temple.
Colon. So it's a movie about gastrointestinal health. That's crazy. Why?
I mean, we had 28 inches later, so it makes sense they put colon.
I can't believe you spoiled 28 inches later already. We're going to talk about that later, but woo! 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 You know what I'm saying? We're like the woo girls at the gym.
Oh, God.
Yeah. I bet they said woo during 28 years later, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to get right into it. All right. So first up, we got 28 Days Later. Take it away, pretty thing.
So came out in 2020. Oh my God. I want to say 2022. And then I was going to say 2002.
2002.
2002.
2002. Year of...
I was 9 when this movie came out.
The year after I saw Ozzy.
Rated R film, 1 hour, 53 minutes. Yeah. What's a tagline?
The tagline for 28 Days Later. The days are numbered.
28 of them, in fact.
28 days numbered. Specifically, 28 days are numbered.
28.
The days are numbered. That's the tagline.
Which they actually have the days numbered on the poster, too.
Yeah, we literally noticed this as we were getting ready. We were getting set up. She was like, look at all the information on the poster.
Yeah. So 28 days after a killer virus is accidentally unleashed from a British research facility, a small group of London survivors are caught in a desperate struggle to protect themselves from the infected. Carried by animals and humans, the virus turns those it infects into homicidal maniacs, and it's absolutely impossible to contain.
Absolutely impossible to contain, W. So, all right. So right off the rip, this movie is widely considered to be a classic, and I couldn't agree more.
Mm-hmm. Did you see it in theaters when it came out?
I didn't see it in theaters. It came out, I mean, maybe I did, bro. It's like, okay, I have a weird history with not watching a lot of horror movies in the moment and catching things later. So
we're doing better, though, now.
No, I mean, obviously, since you and I started dating, like, I've never been in a relationship with somebody who was, like, super passionate about horror movies, really. So for me, it was always, like, something I did, like, on my own, or like kind of when it was like
your guilty pleasure.
It was not something, real. It's not something I got to share with very often, right? So in this time frame of my life, like when I was in college and I was in my first ever relationship, like the odds that I saw this in theater are pretty low. I know I went to see House of a Thousand Corpses in theaters in like 2001, 2002, but I think I went with the bros, right? I don't think I went.
Saturdays are for the boys.
It's a good chance I went and saw this with the bros. But I don't have enough of a remembery, if you will. I don't remember if I saw it in theaters or not. I guess it didn't stick with me like that. Like, cause House of a Thousand Corpses, bruh. We'll do an episode at some point about Rob Zombie movies. Well, I'm a big Rob Zombie movie guy. So that movie to me is like,
I've never seen that movie.
Oh, we gotta see it.
I can tell you, I know I didn't see this when this came out because I was 9.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I saw this.
You were a baby.
I'm pretty sure I saw this in high school, so I also did not see it when it came out.
I'm pretty sure I didn't see it when it came out because I feel like I remember seeing it in the theaters. Also in 2002, I was like 18, 19. I probably wouldn't have appreciated it. Well, I mean, this is kind of boring. I don't know. I don't know if it would have hit. Because I remember I saw the Blair Witch Project in theaters. I was like, this movie sucks. And now I know. Now I'm like, this movie rules. Oh, so TLDR. Actually, we made long, I think. We talked a lot about nothing. But what I'm trying to say is that this is an all-time classic, and it is. It holds up. We watched it again, July 25. Banger, straight up.
You're reminded that The Walking Dead completely stole their intro
from
28 Days Later.
We talked about that, dude. It's like, bruh. I mean, it's cool that The Walking Dead...
They're paying homage.
Yeah, that's got to be a homage, right? Because this absolutely rips the entire premise of the opener off of the movie. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with it. Cillian Murphy slayed as Jim, right? Just a great protagonist. Really, really kind of like leans into the whole zero to hero thing. Like he was not a badass at the beginning of the movie and through the end of the movie. Like it's one of those like they do this a lot in this other boy cat now is trying to party. Sorry, they do this a lot in these post-apocalyptic movies where like a person who is maybe not a badass in their everyday life, like turns into one. We all remember Negan from The Walking Dead, right? But it's a whole different story type there. But so Cillian Murphy he was pretty weak and scared to start. And then like he kind of evolves into this like kind of a badass. So pretty awesome.
It's kind of funny. Like usually like in movie development, like as things get more rugged and more dirty, you get to be more of a badass. But I think it's funny. Jim's turning point, Cillian Murphy's turning point, is actually when he shaves his face.
Yeah,
then he becomes a badass.
When he cleans up, right?
Yeah.
Pretty odd. But I had a great time with this one. I thought that Cillian Murphy was kind of a standout in terms of just like kind of carries the movie all the way through. There's still some good characters.
Mm-hmm. The dad was great. Frank.
Yeah, we liked Frank.
Brandon Gleeson.
Frank was hero, man. Yeah, Brandon Gleeson killed it as Frank. I liked Major Henry West as well, which we won't go into too much details about that, but I thought that...
No, this movie came out how long ago?
Did we get a spoil? It did come out like 23 years ago. That's a good point. If you never saw that, if you don't know that Major Henry West is the big bad, then shut up, dude. You should have watched the movie before you watched a podcast about it, right? So we
can spoil this one.
I didn't even think about that. I feel so dumb. We're so out of practice.
Dumb.
So out of practice. But yeah, so Major Henry West really, again, I really love the swerve, the turn, which it's kind of obvious, but it still hits for some reason, just because it's such a horrifying thing.
Very Handmaid's Tale.
Is it? I never saw Handmaid's Tale.
Well, it's a book too, which I haven't read it. To be read. But yeah, it's about, that's exactly what it is. Mm-hmm. It's about repopulating the earth.
Yeah, so, that makes sense. Okay. And that makes sense in the ways I've heard it referenced in pop culture. So basically, like, again, something that's a common trope in post-apocalyptic movies, but like, the real monsters were the people. Because, like, it's like you get rescued by the military bros and, like, you automatically kind of feel like it can't be this easy. Mm-hmm. And it's not this easy. They're just planning on completely abusing these women that are with them, and Cillian Murphy says absolutely not on my watch, and is a badass and wins the day, and it's a great film. Mm-hmm. Excellent film from start to finish. Existential dread, disgusting big bad, great action, great finish, good stuff. Kind of leaves it open, so you're like, hey, a sequel is coming up for sure. So
with the same characters and everything.
We'll talk about our favorites afterwards, but absolutely in the conversation for my favorite. It's very, very, very good. Very, very good movie. Excellent movie. I would recommend it. I will watch it again, certainly. Yeah. So we give it 2 thumbs.
4 thumbs up.
4 thumbs. All in varying
right
degrees.
In my face.
Wait,
hold on. Let's do
varying degrees of up. There's thumbs everywhere. All right. 4 thumbs. That sounds disgusting. We got to come up with a new way to do movies. 4 thumbs. 4 thumbs is weird. All right, so...
But it'll make you remember.
5 years later, we've been treated to 28 weeks later. So they didn't really follow the title in terms of...
Right, had they planned, if they knew it, if they had the foresight to see that there was going to be a banger, they could have prepared for a movie to be released 28 weeks later.
So funny fact, the release date of 28 years later is 28 weeks from Bone Temple coming out.
Yes.
So done on purpose. So they're like a little callback to 28 weeks later. But I'll let you take it away on the...
I'm so excited.
Synopsis. Synopsis for Bone Temple?
Yeah.
Same, dude. It's got to be my most anticipated of 26 already.
Yeah. So 28 weeks later came out in 2007. It's an hour and 39 minutes long. I will say the director and writers are different.
Yeah.
So the movie has a very different vibe.
Mm-hmm.
What's the tagline?
Oh, my bad. The tagline is, when days turn to weeks. When 28 days turns to 28 weeks is literally what we meant. But we said when days turn to weeks. Weeks.
So 28
days into weeks. Yeah.
28 weeks after the spread of a deadly rage virus, the inhabitants of the British Isles have lost their battle against the onslaught, as the virus has killed everyone there. 6 months later, a group of Americans dare to set foot on the Isles, convinced the danger is past, but it soon becomes all too clear that the scourge continues to live, waiting to pounce on its next victims.
Okay. All right. Don't like the synopsis because that's kind of it's intellectually dishonest. This is my problem with it. But all right. So yeah, we didn't get Danny Boyle. We didn't get Cillian Murphy. This movie sucks, bro. I'm sorry. It's not bad. It's not okay. It's not. It doesn't suck.
It is canon.
It's canon, but like you gotta. The problem is that it's so. It annoys me deeply. You gotta kind of like suspension of disbelief. Get a little. It's like when you watch horror. We love horror movies and so much horror. You gotta suspend disbelief because it's like okay, it's really not. But like the first movie was very much like, oh, this could really happen. And then this movie, again, this could really happen. But to explain this movie away in the way that 28 years later is written, you almost have to like suspend disbelief that this was like an isolated incident. And then it's just, when you see it, you'll see it. But
it's like as if, who's the guy that does Transformers? Michael Bay?
Michael
it's like
Bay, yeah.
Michael Bay did the 28 Days Later series. Like,
this is an action movie.
It's an action
movie plugged into 28
There's like
Days
a very
Later.
specific scene. Again, it was so long ago. I'm going to spoil it. I don't care.
Spoil all of it.
There was a scene where there's a bunch of the zombies that are attacking they're running after the people. And so the guy in the helicopter is like, oh no. So he turns the helicopter like on its side, is like propeller blading all the zombies, and then rewrites the helicopter.
This movie's
Like,
a video.
what?
This movie's a video game into a movie. That would be sick in a Dead Rising game. But
Yeah.
like in 28 weeks later, we were both like, we deadpan watched the movie like the whole time. We're like, what? The opener is stupid and unbelievable and pretentious somehow. Completely unlikable characters.
I don't know.
Robert Carlyle as the dad. Dawn, the dad.
Awful.
Catherine McCormick as Alice, the mom. Yeah, you're gonna okay. But I know you got a crush on Jeremy Renner. We'll talk about that in a minute,
I think I have
right?
a crush
I know you like Jeremy Renner.
Fine.
No. So I know you like Jeremy Renner, right? And I know like he's the guy. What is he? Hawkeye from your Marvel Rivals movies, right?
I like that you say my Marvel Rivals
I
movies
know.
when you played Marvel Rivals.
Blade's coming back though.
Guess how many times I played Marvel Rivals?
Okay, well you don't play those kind of games. That's not a fair thing. How many times?
But you said they were my movies.
Or your Marvel movies, like is you when you.
I did see the Marvel
If you
movies.
didn't know, she used to work at a movie theater, and during that time, she was a big fan of the Marvel films that were playing because she'd go watch them for free.
Yeah.
So again, I'm not dragging you. Okay, you've recovered from your Marvel phase.
So have you.
Okay. True.
Congratulations.
We've both gotten out.
We
of our
have.
Marvel
We
phases.
both have escaped.
But what I was trying to say is, so I was literally talking about just the opener, the unlikable characters. That's my bad.
Oh yeah, no,
That's my
they
bad.
are. They're all
Because yeah,
terrible.
Robert Carlyle as Don and Catherine McCormick as Alice are they're just really unlikable, and it's hard to invest in characters where like you're not. We talked about this a lot in Bring Her Back. How like right off the rip, you like I would die for these characters.
Yeah,
I love them so much.
They did such a good job.
And with these two, right off the rip, you're like, I can't wait till they're gone. Like until they're not involved in the story, which really doesn't last too long. They're kind of written initially as like what the movie is about. And really the movie comes down to being about Rose Byrne as Scarlet, the military scientist, and then Jeremy Renner as the military sniper, who are written into the story. Basically, they're in the UK. The military is kind of taken over and the infection is supposed to be gone. So they're starting to like let people start to move back into the UK and start their lives over. In our opening act, Don, the dad, betrays Alice, the mother. And now when we snap back into what is being shown to us as modern times, Don is starting to, rejoin his family and rebuild his family with his children under the impression that the mother has passed in the zombie attacks, right? From their fancy dinner they were having in their battened down home. It's just so corny. It was such a corny opener and had me being so like, come on, bro.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
So yeah, so then mom's back. Mom is your class again, your classic trope of she's got the virus but she's immune, and then
I will say the way the dad gets the virus is great.
that was sick. Yeah, we love to punish a weak man in a story,
Right.
and that's what happened to him. We love seeing
Should've
him
owned
pay.
up.
We love seeing him pay, but sadly, I think they could have done a lot with that concept, and they just blew it on the virus is back, and that's what happens. So basically, she's immune. She infects her husband. They get out in the military encampment, and then everybody starts getting infected. It's like the whole infection starts over again. So basically, 28 days later, the film is filmed from the perspective of 28 days after the virus hit. And we joined Cillian Murphy in what a month after the infection looks like. 28 weeks later reels us back to what the initial wave of infection looked like, which can be cool and can be fun. We loved A Quiet Place Day One for that reason. We're like, what did it look like? I like that. But they kind of took what it looked like and made it a video game movie out of it. It was just an action movie. It wasn't really what I wanted to see. It didn't really, I think it took itself seriously while being unserious would be my review of 28 weeks later. It didn't hit. And I was disappointed.
I honestly, if you were going to watch them all, I think you could, while it's canon, you could totally skip it and you wouldn't be missing anything.
Not a bit. And man, we're not capable of doing that. Both of us have the personality type.
To.
We have to watch everything, even the worst of the worst. But if you're not that way,
if you're looking for an excuse to not watch it, you don't have to watch it.
Save the hour and 39 minutes of your life. It's bad. It's bad. Jeremy Renner has much better projects if you like Jeremy Renner. I will say that I think this would be Ozzy's favorite.
Really?
I do, because he's old. Because he's old and he's very weird. It's action explosions. He's old. It's an old guy joke. I've been waiting to make that.
Do you think your dad likes that one? Like this?
My dad would like this one better.
Okay.
Because it's like it's loud enough for him to hear, and he'd be like, "Whoa, that helicopter part. Am I right?" Right.
I like. I didn't notice this till now. They have like a biohazard symbol in her pupils.
I didn't notice that either.
Yeah.
Cool poster, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. It sucks because like they had all the pieces to make a good film, and I guarantee you,
I
it
wonder
could have been a good film.
if they had the original director and writers.
Danny Boyle.
Well, who was the director?
The original writer was Alex Garland.
Yeah,
Alex Garland,
so I think if they had those two, obviously it would have fit better.
Yeah, again, like I think it sucks. Maybe the worst movie we've watched this year in terms of like, because we've seen a lot of good stuff this year. We haven't really been watching everything on Amazon, right? So,
it was definitely not the worst movie we've seen all year. It's definitely really bad.
Wait, because we started this year on watching everything. Never mind. Maybe since we
stopped. It's the worst movie since we've stopped doing that. Yes.
The worst movie since we stopped watching bad movies on purpose. How's that? Okay, is that better?
Yes, perfect. That's perfect.
Okay. So, and it's within the. I'm disappointed by this one more than any of the bad ones because this one had every tool it needed to succeed. It has a great IP. It has a great. The story's already written. Like you're literally just like rehashing it. It's got all the marketing. And it just flops. Sucks. And you had a better cast. You had better, like no one knew who Cillian Murphy was.
Paid actors.
Yeah, nobody knew who Cillian Murphy was, but you got Rose
Everyone knows
Byrne,
who he is
Jeremy
now.
Renner, right? Yeah, but they didn't win 28 days.
But not then. You're right. Yeah.
Right? And so it's too bad. Also, Andy, the son in this film, his real name is Macintosh Muggleton. Like, how dope is that? What a dope. How is he not a Harry Potter star? That's a Harry Potter name, dude. So, anyways, we're starting to do our research a little more. So, Imogen Poots and Macintosh Muggleton.
Or the kids.
Did they just say the coolest names at the tryouts or getting it? Or at the auditions, I should say. So, anyways, sorry. Weird.
No, I like it.
Weird and fun. Yeah, this is like 2 out of 10 stars. Like 2 out of 10.
Yeah.
Like 1 out of 5 stars, right? It's a bad, objectively. And it's so bad that they have to be like, I don't know why they're even keeping it canon, but like they could have easily been like, nah, we changed our mind. We retconned what happened after. So essentially, when you get to 28 years later, the UK has been completely abandoned by the rest of the world. And the people that are there are in a quarantine zone and they're just effectively ignored. And so what the canon story for 28 weeks later is, they tried to save the UK. It got loose again. They just put their hands up and said, you know what? This is too much effort. We're done. And so I guess it's not that hard to believe that would happen.
Yeah.
But it's like the amount of time and energy invested and the amount of like the people, especially the military types, were so like, rah, like, these are people. We got to take care of these people. They were like, they really like made you believe that they were a force for good. And then now we're just to believe that they were like
poking fun at Americans.
Yeah. They were talking trash about Americans having no values. And then now we're supposed to believe that they just gave up. I don't know, man. I don't like it. But
Agreed.
You guys,
I'm on your side.
But if somebody out there is listening now and their fist is like the Arthur meme and they're like, this one was good, please explain it to me.
Yeah.
Please explain to me why in the comments.
We're open.
Because we're open. We want to like it, but we don't. But we do like 28 years later.
Yeah.
Notes.
28 years later, released June 20th, 2025. Rated R, an hour 55 minutes long. Almost 2 hours. It didn't feel like 2 hours.
Not at all. No, it felt really smooth.
And we were rewarded by having the same director and writer from the first film back. What's that tagline, baby?
Tagline is, in 28 days it began. In 28 weeks it spread. In 28 years it evolved into having a huge hog. Sorry. There's going to be wiener spoilers for this one.
Yeah. I mean, it's the end of the world. There's no pants in the end of the world.
If you've heard of the movie, everybody's talking about 28 inches later. Everybody's making wiener jokes. A lot of aggressively large even wieners in this film. It's awesome. It's awesome. I think it's awesome. It really brought the horror community together to talk about wieners publicly, and I'm for it. So, sorry if you want to just pull us back into the lane and talk about the film.
Yeah. 28 years since the rage virus escaped a biological weapons laboratory. Now, still in a ruthlessly enforced quarantine, some have found ways to exist amidst the infection. One such group lives on a small island connected to the mainland by a single heavily defended causeway. When one member departs on a mission into the dark heart of the mainland, he discovers secrets, wonders, and horrors that have mutated not only the infected, but other survivors as well.
Awesome. So again, Danny Boyle back to direct, Alex Garland back to write. And so what I wanted to talk about, I've been looking forward to talking about this once we got here, is that like a lot of trilogies, again, a great example of this I think would be Smile. How the first Smile film and the second Smile film exist in the same universe, but they're very different films. And then we already know just from the way Smile 2 ended, the third is going to be a totally different movie, a whole departure from the formula in the first and the second. So we get like 3 unique movies with the same universe, the same concept. I love that. That really keeps things feeling fresh, keeps sequels feeling like they're just rehashed. And so we get the same thing with the 28 series. 28 Days is a far different film for 28 weeks, which is a far different film in 28 years. But 28 Days is more of like a long form story, right? 28 weeks is more of an action movie, and 28 years is more of a in your feels kind of movie. It's a real emotional story. And I loved it. I think that it's very obvious which ones Danny Boyle and Alex Garland were making, because again, the quality of the first film matches the quality of the third film, right? But like, again, they didn't just rehash 28 Days Later. No. It's not the same time, not even remotely the same story. Conceptually, it's different. Visually, it's different. Tone, it's different. Everything about it is different. And it hits. To me, it hits. So.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I will say, as someone that very heavily relies on subtitles when I watch things, the accent made it really hard. So I do want to rewatch it when we can with subtitles, just for more of the storyline. But it was so good. I was taken out of it at first because I was like, freaking Aaron Taylor Johnson is literally in every single movie now.
True.
Like, which is fine. Good for him. He's a good actor. But like, that took me out. And then was right back brought in. That kid did such a good job.
Yeah. The kid was
Alfie Williams. Spike.
Alfie Williams, yeah. Yeah, Spike. I remember his name is Spike, which is very funny.
He's gonna make it. He's a good one.
Yeah, I can't agree more. He was
and
fantastic.
The mom.
Well, and then we'll get Spike. We'll get Spike in the Bone Temple as well, presumably. Sorry, light spoilers, I guess. But if you guys didn't think he had plot armor, then I don't know what to tell you.
Unless you're Terrifier, all the children have plot armor.
Real. Right, and then Jodie Comer as Isla, the mother.
Isla.
Again, Isla.
Isla's. It's pronounced Isla.
Isla. So again, this is a hard one to talk to. We won't be able to spend a lot of time. I would love to break it down and talk about it a ton, but there would just be so many spoilers.
She did phenomenal.
She was absolutely. So I will say that the theater experience for us was medium. We had some pretty annoying people in the theater making a bunch of noise. We had 2 separate parties that were kind of obnoxious. But you've ever noticed that the most obnoxious people in the movie also tend to be the people that get bored and leave early?
Yeah, they don't get the movie.
They like didn't get it. I was like, they were so yappy and so noisy. We had to tell them to shut up. Literally had to have a confrontation with other humans in the wild. And then halfway through the film, they just get up and walk out right before the big wiener part too. So you like missed out on the best part. No, I'm just kidding. But like they get up and walk out. And it's like, you can see who's not getting it is the same kind of person who has a full volume conversation at a movie.
Yeah.
He's the kind of person who's not intellectually advanced enough to enjoy the film. There, I said it. If you're watching my podcast somehow, those people, rude, be better. But that said, the theater experience was a little mediocre. And I will say that it dragged a little in the beginning for me. I don't know if you agree, because you said it didn't feel like 2 hours. The middle and the last act, to me, made the payoff worth it, but it did drag a little in the beginning for me. I felt like it was moving a little slow.
I think it's more because it was like a personal piece versus straight up horror movie.
True.
Like, it was definitely more.
They had to set the tone.
Yeah,
I agree.
It was more a drama.
And again, I know I'm milking this cow a little too much, but going back to Bring Her Back, you were immediately invested in the characters in that film. This one took a little time for me to care. It took me a little time to warm up and give a hoot about Spike and his family. So yeah, I think they kind of needed the slow burn to introduce everything. I'm not complaining that I had a slow start, but it did have a slow start. But the final act and the post credits, I'm all the way sold on Bone Temple and all the way sold on this being, in my opinion, the best of the three. I think 28 Years Later takes it from me. I'm a sucker for a family film. I'm a sucker for father-son, mother-son dynamic. We really loved Alien Romulus for the same reason, with family dynamics being big for us. We're both family people.
Yeah.
And so for this one, it tugged my heart in all the right places. It made me feel at all the right times. And the finale, the final act into the last scene, into the teaser for the next film have got me so hyped. And I'm so excited that we get it in January. We don't have to wait.
Birthday celebration.
Yeah, birthday movie for you. Yeah. So this one's going to be 4.5 stars, I'd say. 4.5 out of 5 probably. That'll be my letterboxd. I think this was a near perfect movie. So yeah, go watch it if you haven't already seen it. It should be on digital soon. We're really late, you guys. It should be on digital soon.
We're almost a month out.
Yeah.
When this is released, it'll be a month out.
I guess it feels longer than it really was, because it was only a month ago. We really do stay on top of watching these films.
We watch them like the week they come out.
Yeah.
It just takes a little bit to get them recorded.
It's a lot easier to go sit at the movies after you work a 12-hour day.
Yeah.
Right, than to sit down and record. It's been really warm in the office too. Like we're in a.
Yeah, that's the hardest part, is just how hot and oppressive. It's not hot.
It's not hot at all. Outside we feel amazing.
If we could literally record outside, it'd be perfect.
Yep.
But the homes in Seattle are oppressive.
Yeah, they're built to hold heat in, and there's no central air. And with how small the office is, we can't set up the window AC. So we're just at the mercy of this window being cracked. Mm-hmm. And which isn't so bad today. Today was great weather. It's 64 outside. We feel amazing right now. But when it's 80, 90 degrees outside is cooler than inside.
Yeah.
And it's miserable for us. So we're not making excuses though. We're going to keep powering through. We're going to find better ways.
We're just going to get up earlier.
We're going to get up earlier. Yeah, we got 7 a.m. today on a Saturday because we want to make content for you specifically. You know what I'm talking about. So that's the 28 series wrap up. We will be back to talk about the 28 series more in January because we're going to talk about Bone Temple. I'm sure we'll revisit. We'll talk spoilers on 28 Years Later when we watch Bone Temple. So make sure between now and January you guys watch 28 Years or it getting spoiled, yo. And then I think 4 movies is sufficient for a tier list. So we can do a little tier list in January.
Then, yeah.
January, we can do a little tier list.
Did they talk about how many more they're going to do? Is it going to be like a trilogy?
I think it's going to be more.
So at least one more after this new one, I think is
yeah.
is what I heard.
Yeah. We'll you know what we'll do? Above my head, we'll tell you what we found.
Whoa.
Can you believe it?
Oh my God.
Wow. I never would have guessed.
Me either.
All right. Thank you guys for joining us so much. Next week, we'll be talking about Megan 2.0, and Jurassic World. Rebirth. Yeah. So I know Jurassic World's a weird one to kind of tuck in, but we would much rather do a big Jurassic episode, but that's going to take a ton of preparation. So we figured is Megan 2.0, which if you're watching this now and you haven't already, watch Megan and watch Megan 2.0. Absolute bangers. Don't care what anybody says. And then Jurassic's a big investment. So you don't really need to see any Jurassic Park media to enjoy Jurassic World. Just FYI. So if you haven't seen it, go check it out. We'll be back to talk about that next week. And then coming up, I Know What You Did Last Summer and a few other bangers. So that's kind of that. Thank you guys so much for your patience with us. We will see you next week. If no one's told you they love you today, I love you.
And they live Slashily ever after.
They did. And they live Slashily.
Bye.
Ever after. Bye.
Sorry.